Hey, what is up, guys? We are here with the Omen character breakdown. Now, I know this one's a little late, so we're going to give a little bit more advice than we usually would in these breakdowns. And if you guys are looking forward to the Golem breakdown when he comes out in, just a couple weeks here, that one will be out the day he comes out, probably just a couple hours after, so I get a chance to play him and give you guys a nice little breakdown. So, let's talk about Omen. He's a very unique character. He's got a lot of things borrowed from mostly Saberwolf and Jago. The interesting thing is, though, the way he uses these tools that he borrowed is a lot different than the characters who originally had them use them, right? So even though the normals are a lot, they're pretty reminiscent of those characters, it's a little bit different in his application of them. So his jabs are pretty much Saberwolf's on point. Like if you ever played Saberwolf, that looks pretty familiar, right? His standing medium punch and crouching medium punch, as well as his standing fierce, is very familiar. His crouching fierce, though, is a little bit different. It's kind of unique. It is an anti-air, right? That is his anti-air. And Saberwolf's crouching fierce, of course, is a sweep. So that is a little different. The reason that's different is because his kicks are all of Jago's. And that's important because his crouching heavy kick is, of course, the traditional Shoto sweep. Standing roundhouse looks a lot like Jago's as well, except for it goes at a little bit of a lower angle, right? Now, Jago's is more of a traditional Shoto standing roundhouse. That's very good for far anti-airs. This one's a little bit lower to the ground, kind of like a mid-range thing. And it's a really good tool for manuals and stuff like that because of that. It makes it a little bit better on the ground than Jago's because of the angle of it. So those are his main normals. Let's talk a little bit about his command normal and his air normals. So his command normals for heavy punch, which is basically Saberwolf's Ragged Edge, the special move, attached as a command normal. It's also special cancelable, so you can cancel it into whatever you want. Most of the time for pressure, you'd probably cancel into his fireballs, but it just depends on the situation. Now, his air normals are very unique, especially since his air mobility is very, very different from every other character. So Omen has a very floaty jump. Now, no matter what jump you do, forward, backwards, or neutral, you have two main options out of them. You have a backwards air dash and a forwards air dash. Now, the interesting thing about this is you can do a couple different things with these air dashes in terms of mix-ups, movements, and stuff like that. So, while you're zoning and stuff like that, that wasn't very good zoning, was it? I got the dud fireball twice in a row. So while you're zoning and stuff like that, your jumping air dash backwards is a very, very good tool, right? Because if you whiff a button, you land faster. So you can use that to zone and kind of throw off your opponent at the angle you're going to be and where you are on the screen. So that's a very good tool for kind of, positioning on screen and zoning and stuff like that. You can move yourself forward pretty safely and stop your floaty jump from landing, so you don't have to deal with that, right? It's also really good for Marvel-esque mix-ups where you jump over someone and you come back like that. So that's a really, really good application of it as well. As far as cross-ups go, his air dash is really good for that too. His jumping light kick and his jumping fierce are really good cross-up attacks. As far as normal jumping attacks go, his medium punch is insane. It has really far range. It hits really high on their body. And it's just a really great jumping attack in general, to be honest. He also has his jumping heavy kick, which, see, it has this straight out angle like that. When it does hit, though, it launches them full screen. So this is really good if you're against a character you want to zone. You can do something like that, and you can send them full screen instead of your zoning, like stuff like that, right? So you have a really easy way to knock somebody down and set the zoning up. Now, you guys have seen a little bit of his mobility. There is actually one more mobility thing he can do with his shadow bar that's unique to this character, and that's this, right? It is pretty interesting. You can cancel almost anything you do into this, and it costs a bar meter. Now, the interesting thing about this is that you're actually invincible when it's all black. So as you're moving forward, you're all black like that, you are invincible. When you come out of it and your character is visible again at that last second, that is when you can be punished. So you can use this in a couple different ways, right? So let's say you jump air dash forward and your opponent's uppercutting you. So you can do this and just kind of freeze in air like that. The uppercut will go through you while you're invincible. You'll land and you can punish your opponent's uppercut. So it's a really, really unique situation that other characters don't get advantage of. It's also really great because you can cancel your normals into it. So you can do different mix-ups and stuff like that because of it. So you can also choose what side you're going to land. So like let's say like that, you can go cross-up and then you can stay in the front. So you have a lot of unique mix-ups opportunities, and it's really hard for your opponent to deal with this because you're invincible. Like it costs a bar meter for a reason. You're invincible in the air while you do this. So it's actually really, really fun to do, and it's a very really good move. Like you can use it for safety, you can use it for offense, you can use it for mix-up, you can use it for almost anything, and you can also use it off of your other special moves like his slide, and it's just a really, really great option. It's pretty much his primary wake-up attack as well, so he's going to rely on that for stuff, but it's a really, really great move. So besides that, he can spend his bar in a couple different ways, and we'll show off the special moves and then talk about the shadow moves. So We saw his fireballs earlier. Now that is the dud fireball. You can see his fireballs are actually random. They do different things depending on, you know, what happens. Wow, I've gotten the dud like 7 times already. And if you do the light version, he just throws 1. If you do the medium version, he throws 2. And if you do the heavy version, you could probably guess, he throws 3. So they all have these random different patterns, and it makes it pretty hard to guess what's going to happen and to get in on this character, right? If you get something like that, like, yeah, if you're a grounded-based character, you're pretty much not going to be able to approach on that. And there's all kinds of different ones. Like, he has a crawler that just hits the ground and kind of goes really, really slow. It's really good for mix-ups and stuff like that. So his zoning's pretty great, and you can also use it for setups. So if you throw fireballs like that, and you see I have that crawler there, I can get in for free like that with my slide, which is another special move, quarter circle back kick. Looks just like that. Goes pretty much full screen if you do the heavy version. Really good to manual off of as well. And it's really great to follow up your fireballs with it. It's, yeah, you can see there. It's pretty good. So that is his quarter circle back kick. His quarter circle back punch looks like that. That's a really good anti-air. And the main use of this move is in pressure, anti-airs, and the shadow version of it's really good as well. So we'll get into that in a second. And his final move is really unique to KI. It's quarter circle forward kick. It's basically Chun-Li lightning legs. But the interesting thing about this is it's actually mashable just like that on hit or block. Actually on block, I guess, or whiff is the correct term. So yeah, if you get your opponent to block something, you can mash it for a little while. It's really good in the corner, especially if you have fireballs following you and you want to, you know, kind of mash that so that the fireballs can reach. It's actually pretty interesting. But yeah, there's not another move in KI like that. So it is unique to this character. Now, the shadow version of all these moves do different things. So quarter circle forward punch with shadow summons 3 fireballs that kind of just home onto your opponent and shoot forward like that. Really good, especially when you do something like this behind it. So yeah, really, really good for him to get in. Whoops. So his quarter circle back punch is a kind of shield like this. It's kind of like an orb-like shield, just like Rose in Street Fighter. Now, the interesting thing is you can choose to spend more bar on these two things, right? So if you do quarter circle back punch and you do it again, the orbs get bigger. And instead of just hitting once, they hit twice. So you can see there, it took 2 times for them to actually hit him. Now, you can do the same thing. You can do this, and then quarter circle back forward punches, and now you have orbs that hit twice and shoot out like that. So, you know, you can change it up. So you can also do this and then do it behind you too, so you can shoot more orbs than you normally would, right? So yeah, there's a couple different ways for you to use that. Now his quarter circle forward kick super shoots a bunch of fireballs out. This is really good in the corner because his throws are unique. They're a lot like Glacius. They let you combo after them. So, you know, you could do whatever manual you want to do and just combo. I guess that didn't reach, but yeah, you see. So it's pretty easy to manual off of it. But this super is really good because you can combo off of it in the corner like that. And then you can manual off the super, continue the combo, stuff like that. So his throw is really good because you have all these different applications. You can walk up and fake throw and then just go like for stuff like that. His corner is really, really strong. Or his throw is really strong in the corner because you can just set up all these different things off of it. It's really, really unique, and it's a lot of fun to mess with. It gets his offense is very, very scary because you can mix it up with throws, this move, and his slide, and, you know, fireball pressure and all that stuff. It gets really, really frightening. So his last super is the slide super. Goes through fireballs really, really fast. It's basically Shadow Wind Kick from Season 1. Basically, same kind of thing. Now that we've looked at all of those, let's talk a little bit about his final way to spend meter, which is quarter circle forward plus throw. Now, this is unique to KI in a lot of ways because this move doesn't do actual damage. It only does potential damage. Now, if you guys don't know what potential damage is, when you hit somebody in KI, you build up this white life, right? Now, this white life, when you end your combo, gets cashed out. So you can see there just kind of chilling. And now that I end my combo, it's all that white life is going to disappear. So the way this works is if it lands, which is really slow, it does 100% potential white life. Which means if I do some kind of combo, that it'll do his whole life bar. As long as he doesn't break, because if your opponent breaks the combo, all the white life disappears. So that is something you definitely have to keep in mind when you do it. It also costs 3 meters, as you guys can see in the bottom left. All my meter is gone if I go for that. So it is very slow on startup. It doesn't do actual damage, and it's pretty risky. It's a pretty risky thing to do. But if you happen to land it, it could be very, very strong. And also, it does 100% white life. So if your opponent has 10% left, it's not really that useful. But it's just something to keep in mind. So now that we've talked about that, let's talk about his instinct. His instinct also directly ties into his combo trait, which is pretty unique to him, like pretty much every other character. It's kind of similar to Jago's, but it does something a little bit different. So let's talk about instinct first. Now, his instinct makes all projectiles that hit the opponent stop them from being able to use meter. So as you can see there, he has 2 little red X's on his meter. So that means anytime this hits, he'll lose his bar as well. And you may have noticed I have a couple more fireballs than the last time I did this. So yeah, you have 5 fireballs this time, and if you do both supers, you can make it hit 10 times. So yeah, that's pretty good. And it also makes this super shoot out more fireballs as well. So you can do something like this and then just shoot that out and just slide in on it, and yeah, it's pretty nuts. It's pretty good actually. Something like that. Slide. Yeah, you can see how it gets pretty nuts when he's in instinct, and his mix-up potential just gets even stronger. But the other thing that's, you know, similar I talked about is his combo trait. Now, he has J-Goes around the world, but in reverse, which means when you start up a combo, you can go from one auto double to the other like that. Now, you see there, if you go through all 3 auto doubles, light, medium, and then heavy, you get to lock out their bar meter. So there you go. That is his unique combo trait that is only for him, and it's actually pretty interesting. If you get 2 reps of it, you can actually lock out more than 1 bar of meter. And most characters have 2 bars of meter, unlike Omen. So 2 of those around the worlds will lock out both of their bars of meter for about 5 to 10 seconds, which is very useful if you knock somebody down and you lock them out. Like, you lock them out, you end your combo, and you know they can't wake up with anything if they don't have shadow bars. So if it's a character who relies on shadow meter to wake up, you've taken away their ability to wake up through your pressure, and now you get to do whatever kind of crazy mix-up you want with Omen. So that's kind of his thing, right? He's high mobility, low damage, but good mix-up potential, good zoning if he gets the situations right, and very, very strong on offense, man. He has all kinds of offensive powerhouse, but his defense is pretty weak, and he doesn't do a lot of damage. So those are kind of his big issues, but a very fun character, highly mobile, has all kinds of tricks, a lot to learn. And look at that. How many of those did I get this time? I got so many duds. It's kind of ridiculous. Anyway, that is the risk you take playing this character. He has all kinds of, you know, crazy, like his whole zoning game is basically a guess, because you never know what you're going to get. So very, very unique character, high risk, high reward, a lot of fun to play with. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the breakdown. I'll see you guys again with some Omen gameplay pretty soon, as well as the Golem breakdown when he comes out. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys again soon.